Hot takes, hot brews, no filter, no fluff. It's the Bearded Coffee Rant, and we've had enough.
Let's begin with a simple truth. Beer is supposed to taste good. That's it. That's the tweet. That's the whole philosophy. It's not supposed to be a dare. It's not supposed to be punishment. It's not supposed to be a liquid endurance test where you sit, rinse, and pretend you're enjoying it because the label says
10.4%.
And the can label looks like it was designed by a tattoo artist on a sugar high. But somewhere along the way, we lost the plot. We veered off the golden path of flavour and wandered into the dark forest of ABV obsession. And now we're surrounded by brews that taste like regret, smell like solvents, and hit harder than your nan's sherry trifle. Oh, it's hot. Let me paint you a picture. You walk into a pub, you scan the taps. You see a beer called Apocalypse Now. 11.2%. Triple dry hopped. Barrel aged in the tears of disappointed sommeliers. You ask the bartender, what's it like? And he says,
It's strong.
that's it. That's the review. It's not.
It's citrusy.
Not.
It's well balanced.
Not.
Got a lovely malty backbone.
Just.
It's strong.
Mate, so is fucking bleach. Doesn't mean I want a pint of it. Now, I'm not saying high ABV beers are inherently bad. Some of them are fucking lovely. Some of them are masterpieces. But the obsession, the cult with ABV arms race, that's where the madness lies. That's where taste gets thrown under the bus, and the bus is driven by a brewer who thinks flavour is just a side effect of fermentation. Let me tell you about my current go-to at my local. It's 3%. That's right, 3. Not 8, not 10, not double digits, double regrets, just 3. And it tastes better than half the so-called big boy brews that swagger in at 8+%. It's crisp, it's balanced, it's got nuance, it's got character, and it's got soul. It's not trying to be a science experiment, it's just good beer. It's the kind of beer that says, hey, let's have a chat, not
Brace yourself, Effie!
it's the kind of pint that lets you have 2 or 3 without needing to lie down on a blood test. It's the kind of pint that doesn't come with a side of existential dread. And yet, when I order it, I get looks, I get raised eyebrows, I get the kind of judgment usually reserved for people who put pineapple on pizza.
Only 3%.
They say, as if I've confessed to enjoying Coldplay or something.
You know they've got a 9.6 double IPA on tap.
Yes, I do. And I also know my taste buds deserve better than being waterboarded by hops. Let's talk about the breweries that get it right though. Track, New Barns, Winton, the local legends, taste titans. These folk aren't chasing ABV like it's a trophy. They're chasing flavour. They're chasing balance. They're chasing the kind of pint that makes you smile, not squint. They're brewing for people who actually like beer, not people who want to turn their liver into a fucking science project. Track, they make beer that sings. New Barns, they make beer that dances. Winton makes beer that hugs you from the inside like a long lost scout leader. They understand that a pint isn't just a drink, it's an experience. It's a moment, it's a conversation starter, it's a companion, and it doesn't need to be 9% to be memorable. It just needs to be good. Now let's address the elephant in the tap room. If you're drinking for ABV over taste, you might be drinking it for the wrong reasons. I'm not here to judge. Okay, maybe I am, but seriously, if your main criteria for choosing a beer is
how fast will this get me pushed?
Then maybe you're not drinking beer. Maybe you're just chasing oblivion, and that's fine. We've all been there. Don't pretend it's about the craft. Don't pretend it's about appreciation. Don't pretend it's about flavour. It is not. It's about escape, and that is a different conversation. Session beers, the low ABV legends. They're the unsung heroes of the tap list. They're the beers you can actually enjoy more than one of without needing a nap and a rehydration sachet. They're the beers that let you have a conversation, not just a coma. They're the beers that say,
I'm here for a good time, not a blackout.
They're the beers that respect your palate, your liver, and your dignity. And yet they're often overlooked, dismissed, ignored, because they don't come with a warning label, because they don't make your eyes water, because they don't taste like a dare. But here's the thing, they taste good, really good, and that should be enough. Let's talk about the marketing. Oh, sweet hop gods, let's talk about the marketing. Double IPA, triple stout, quadruple fermented, barrel aged, nitro infused, dry hopped, wet hopped, cryo hopped, hop-pocalypse. It's like beer's become a fucking maths problem. I didn't order a pint to do bastard algebra. I ordered a pint to enjoy myself. Stop trying to impress me with your brewing calculus and just make something that tastes good. And don't get me started on the names. Yeast Beast, Mango Mayhem, Unicorn Tears, Hopzilla.
Thank Daddy.
What are we doing? Are we brewing beer or naming roller coasters? I don't need my pint to sound like a fucking Marvel villain. I just need it to taste like beer. And on to pubs, the sacred halls of British civilization. The last bastion of sanity in a world gone mad. The place you can walk in, order a pint, have a full-blown existential crisis with a stranger named Keith who smells faintly of pickled eggs and wisdom. Pubs are where beer lives, not in sterile tap rooms with concrete floors and neon signs that say things like Hop Life or Fermented AF. No, real beer lives in pubs with sticky tables, with carpets that have seen things, with bar staff who know your name and your order and your deepest regrets. And in these pubs, there's a crime happening, a pint crime, a flavour felony if you will, a taste travesty. Because even in here, in the holy land of ale, the ABV arms race has crept in like a hipster with a clipboard and a ratty dog on a string. You know the type. Walks in a beanie in fucking July, orders a double dry hopped imperial milkshake IPA and asks if it's
Cast conditions.
then proceeds to sniff it like it's a truffle, swirls it, holds it up to the light, takes a sip and says,
Notes of gooseberry, diesel and regret.
mate, it's beer, not a wine tasting. You don't need to aerate it. You don't need to pair it with a cheese board. Actually, that might be good. You don't need to write a dissertation on its mouthfeel. Just drink it, enjoy it, and if it tastes like someone boiled a grapefruit in a sock, maybe don't order it again. There's a good lad. Oh, tasting notes. Oh, fucking tasting notes.
Hints of mango, passion fruit and freshly mown grass. A lingering finish of burnt caramel and existential dread. A bold nose of pine resin and broken dreams.
Who writes these? Are they okay? Do they need help? Blink twice if you're unsafe. I once saw a beer described as having...
The aroma of a forest after rain.
What does that even mean? Have we all agreed to pretend we know what a damp forest smells like? Because I've been in one and it smelled like a wet dog. And don't get me started on fucking mouthfeel. Gives me the bulk. Just the word alone makes me want to gargle some fucking Domestos.
Oh, it's got a creamy mouthfeel.
No, it's got bubbles. It's liquid. It goes in your mouth. That's the deal. If I wanted cream, I'd order a milkshake. If I wanted texture, I'd chew a biscuit. I'm moving on to the bastard cousins of beers. Let's talk about lager. The humble lager. The beer that has built empires, quenched nations, and filled more questionable karaoke nights than any of us care to admit. Somewhere along the way, craft beer culture decided lager was boring. Too simple, too mainstream, not sexy enough for the hop-forward, barrel-aged, triple-fermented, lactose-infused crowd. But here's the thing, brewing a good pint of lager is hard. It's science, it's art, it's balance. You can't hide behind the hops or the gimmicks. It's naked beer. And when it's done well, it's gorgeous. Crisp, clean, refreshing, honest. A lager doesn't need a backstory. It doesn't need a dissertation. It doesn't need to tell you it was dry hopped by monks under a full moon. It just needs to be cold, crisp, and in a pint glass. Oh fuck, then there's the sours. Oh boy! The Marmite of the beer world. Some people love them, some people would rather lick a car battery. And that's fine, taste is subjective. But the way some brewers push sour beers, you'd think they'd reinvented the fucking wheel.
This one tastes like rhubarb crumble. This one tastes like blueberry pie.
I don't know what I'm doing there.
This one tastes like childhood trauma and a hint of vanilla.
Calm down, it's just beer, not a dessert. If I wanted a smoothie, I'd go to a fucking juice bar. If I wanted a pudding, I'd call my gran. Stop trying to turn beer into a milkshake. It's fucking undignified and uncalled for. And then there's wankers like me, the influencers. The self-appointed beer messiahs of Instagram and TikTok. The ones who spend more time photoshopping their pint than drinking it. Holding it up to the lights like it's the shroud of Turin. Tilting it just so with a caption that says,
"This hazy boy slaps."
Mate, it's a drink, not a lifestyle brand. Stop trying to make hazy boy trend. Stop pretending your tasting notes matter to anyone outside your little fucking echo chamber. No one cares that you got
Pineapple on the nose, diesel on the palate, and enlightenment on the finish.
drink the pint, enjoy the pint, move on with your life, shut the fuck up. And we're back to bloody beer festivals again, aren't we? The supposed mecca, son of a bitch. The supposed mecca of craft beer appreciation. That's awkward. A place where you pay 40 quid, privilege of standing in a drafty warehouse, holding a thimble-sized glass, queuing for beers with names like Yeast Jesus and Hoppocalypse 2, The Reckoning. You shuffle from stall to stall, pretending to take notes, like you're judging MasterChef, but without the inappropriate sexiness. You try a 12% Imperial Stout at 2 in the afternoon and wonder why you can't feel your legs. You chat to brewers, who all look like they were separated at birth from the same bearded man in a flat cap, and by the end of it, you've spent a week's wages and can't remember a single fucking beer you actually enjoyed. But hey, you got a tote bag, totally worth it, dude. Now let's address the snobbery, the unholy aura that surrounds certain corners of the craft scene. The gatekeeping, the condescension, the idea that if you're not drinking a quadruple dry hop, bourbon-aged lactose sour at 11%, you're somehow not a real fan and a bit of a It's nonsense. Absolute fucking nonsense. Beer is supposed to be inclusive. It's supposed to bring people together. It's supposed to be the great social equaliser. A pint doesn't care if you're a stockbroker, a builder, or a teacher, or Keith from the pub with his fucking pickled eggs. A pint is a pint, and if you like it, that's all that matters. End of. So here's my plea, my manifesto, my call to arms. Let's bring beer back to what it's supposed to be. Flavour, enjoyment, not just ABV, not just a numbers game to see who can brew the booziest soup and convince people it might be drinkable. Let's celebrate the pint you can actually finish. The pint you actually want another one of. The pint that makes you smile because it tastes so fucking good and not because it knocked you sideways. Let's celebrate the pint you share with your mates in the pub, not the thimble of motor oil you sip in silence while pretending to taste elderflower and piss. The everyday pint is underrated. The steady Eddie, the reliable mate, the one you can always count on. The pint that doesn't try too hard. The one that doesn't shout, doesn't need a neon sign or a stupid name. It's just there, dependable, drinkable, delicious. It's not the headline act, it's not the showstopper, it's the backbone, the heartbeat. The reason beer has lasted thousands of years and we ignore it at our peril. Because without the everyday pint, beer becomes theatre, performance and pretense. And frankly, I've got enough drama in my life without needing it in my glass. Oh boy do I. Now, do not get me wrong, I love craft beer. I love innovation. I love breweries who push boundaries. But here's the difference between pushing boundaries and pushing nonsense. Traditional styles exist for a reason. They've lasted long because they work, because they taste good, because they bring joy. A well-pulled cask ale, a crisp lager, balanced. These aren't boring, they're timeless, they're classics, and they deserve respect. So by all means, go wild. Brew your marshmallow stout, your pickle sour, your triple hopped IPA with notes of bubblegum and diesel. But don't forget the roots. Don't forget the pint that built the pub. Don't forget the beers that started it all. At the end of the day, beer isn't about ABV, it isn't about numbers. It's about who can drink the strongest, the weirdest, most experimental. Beer is about people. It's about connection. It's about sitting across from someone and sharing a laugh, a story, a silence. The pint is just a vehicle, the excuse, the glue that holds the whole messy human experience together. It doesn't matter if it's 3% or 10%. It matters that it tastes good, and it matters that it brings us together. Because without that, without the social side, it's just fermented grain in a glass. And who gives a fuck about that, right? So here's the pint-sized truth. Drink what you like, love what you love, but don't get caught up in the ABV arms race. Don't let numbers dictate your taste buds. Don't be swayed by labels louder than the beer itself. Beer should taste good. That is the hill I will die on. Whether it's 3%, 5%, 9%, whether it's a lager, a bitter, a stout, a pale, or something so experimental it comes with a warning label. Taste first, ABV second, always. And if that makes me the bloke at the bar with a humble 3%, while everyone else is chasing oblivion with their triple dry hop apocalypse stouts, so be it. I'll be the one still standing, still smiling, and still enjoying my pint. Cheers.